In our last episode, we learned that Göbekli Tepe is the oldest temple in the world, a stunning creation built by hunter-gatherers thousands of years before civilization was even thought to exist. This incredible discovery solves one mystery when it was built, but in doing so, it rips open two even bigger ones. Why did they build it? And, perhaps even more bizarrely, why on earth did they bury it? This is part 2. The Great Mystery. The pillars themselves are not just raw stone, they're covered in stunningly detailed carvings of dangerous animals. You see foxes, cranes, wild boars. This was clearly not a home or a simple shelter. It was a place of immense power, a place where the wild, untamed world was confronted and perhaps controlled. But look closer, these T-shaped pillars aren't just pillars, they are stylized human figures. If you look at the sides, you can see their arms carved into the stone, their hands clasped together at their navels, as if in quiet contemplation or prayer. Who are they meant to represent? Archaeologists believe these are not pillars, but gods, or perhaps powerful ancestors, or spiritual beings watching over the living. In this view, Göbekli Tepe wasn't just a collection of stones, it was a grand cathedral, a sacred gathering place for nomadic tribes who would travel vast distances to come together and connect with the divine, and the rituals here may have been incredibly complex. There's even some evidence that points to a skull cult. Human skulls, found at the site, show deliberate post-mortem carvings. This suggests a sophisticated form of ancestor worship, where the spirits of the dead were honored and consulted through complex ceremonies. But it might have been even more than that. Some researchers believe it may have also been a sophisticated astronomical observatory. The entire layout of Göbekli Tepe might be aligned with the stars, a giant stone calendar used to track the seasons, predict celestial events, and mark the passage of time. A temple, a parliament, an observatory, it seems to have been all of these things at once. A true center of the world for these ancient people. But the most profound, most baffling mystery of Göbekli Tepe is not its purpose, but its fate. What happened to it? After 1500 years of continuous use, a period longer than many great civilizations have lasted, its creators did something completely unbelievable. They deliberately buried their own masterpiece. This was not a gradual decay or a natural collapse. This was a massive, intentional, coordinated effort. Archaeologists have found the circles filled with tons of dirt, gravel, animal bones, and broken tools. It was a burial on a monumental scale, and it seems to have been a pattern. They would use one of these magnificent stone circles for a period of time, then ritually bury it, and build a new, often smaller and simpler one nearby or even on top of it. But why? What could possibly motivate a people to inter their own sacred creation? One compelling theory is that this was a form of ritual decommissioning. When a circle's spiritual power was perceived to have faded, or its purpose was fulfilled, it was respectfully put to rest, like an honored elder. It was a way of containing its power and giving it a proper end. But this theory doesn't fully explain why the entire site, every last circle, was eventually buried and abandoned. Why did they walk away from their center of the world? Perhaps a new religion, a new belief system, swept through the area. Maybe the old gods represented by the stone pillars had to be buried to make way for the new, an ideological revolution that required the complete erasure of the past. Or maybe something catastrophic happened, a climate shift, a pandemic, a social collapse that forced the people to abandon their most sacred place. The burial could have been a final act of protection, hiding it from the world with the hope that it might one day be rediscovered. We just don't know for sure. And what's truly mind-boggling is that archaeologists believe that everything we've seen, everything that has been painstakingly uncovered so far, is only about 5% of the entire site. Ground-penetrating radar has shown that beneath the rolling hills of Göbekli Tepe there's more, much more. Dozens more stone circles may still lie buried beneath the earth, each one a time capsule, each one holding a piece of the puzzle. They are down there, silent and waiting, holding the answers to this great ancient mystery. Göbekli Tepe isn't just a story from the past, it's a story that is still being unearthed, with every shovelful of dirt. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey. If you're as fascinated by these ancient mysteries as I am, make sure to hit that like button, and subscribe so you don't miss our next exploration into the unknown. See you next time.